Hey everybody, Questwise here, and today we're going to talk some more about solo role-playing and some of the experiences that I'm having as I'm sort of exploring the solo role-playing world, the aspect of playing role-playing games by yourself. This again, like I said, if you haven't seen the first video, go back and check that out now. I'll put a link down in the description below as to where you can find that, or just go back in the catalog and find it. It's not too hard. It was like a week and a half ago maybe that I posted that. But I've been slowly working my way into the aspect of solo role playing as a means of learning a game system, as well as a way of sort of entertaining myself when I don't have a group to play with, as well as a way to sort of help myself broaden my adventure writing skills. And by doing that, I'm using a couple of Game Master Emulators, some oracles, if you will. And that's what I want to share with you today. Two different products that I've bought on PDF, both from Drive-Thru RPG. And I think that they're really worth noting, especially if you're trying to do something like I am. If you're a solo role-playing enthusiast and you want some cool, you might be new. A lot of these are well known. I actually found out about these through a couple different places. Through Geek Gamers channel, as well as Me, Myself, and Die, as well as talking with a number of other people, including the channel Artichoke Dip, and so if you're an enthusiast, you probably already know about these. You probably already own these. But if you're new to the solo role playing experience, like I am, and making my way through it, and learning more about it as you go, you might be interested in these. The first one is called the Mythic GM Emulator, and you can buy this. There's a Mythic game or a Mythic game system that you can buy that has a full role-playing experience. But what they've done as a company is they've taken the emulator, the Oracle part of it, and sold it as a separate PDF, as a separate product, known as the Mythic GM Emulator, Game Master Emulator. This is a 43-page product that it is strictly just random generation tables and idea generators. To build adventures, to build what's happening in the world, to start your adventure process and stuff as well too. It's meant to help replace a game master for your solo experience, as it's called a GM emulator. That's probably pretty obvious, but it can be used with any role-playing game. This is the thing I'm exploring right now. There's so many of these that say that they can be used with any role-playing game, and I wanted to test it out. So I've done a couple of things. I started safe. I started using the D&D 5th Edition Essentials Kit, because I know D&D 5th Edition pretty well, so I figured I'd start with that and just test the waters and see how this product works. And it works extremely well with the Essentials Kit. And then I started to branch off a little bit more, and I've been wanting to dive a little bit more into the 2D20 system, because it's always kind of evaded me on how that all works completely. And I've started using the Conan 2D20 game from Modiphius, and it works pretty well. There's a few other games I want to try this with as well too. I want to try some sort of basic D&D stuff as well, and I want to try and see if it's possible. But I'd like to try Pendragon, the newest edition of Pendragon, with the emulator and the oracles, to see if I can create a sort of Arthurian adventure using that rule set with these generation tables and stuff. I'll report back to you on how that plays out as well too. The fate chart is very, very detailed in this. This is a oracle in which it answers yes or no questions for you. And it's very, very detailed, and it breaks it down so that you know whether it's just yes or no, but absolutely no or absolutely yes. It gives you a lot of different options to use this one table. There are also a ton, I'm talking a ton of extra sort of charts and tables that will just randomly create things like place names and things that are going on in these places, and adventure, like what's happening to certain NPCs or to you. And Me, Myself, and Die uses this very well, in that he before every session he rolls on these charts to find out what they're going to be facing in that particular session that day. That there's some kind of a twist, there's some sort of fate thing that has happened that's sort of thrown an even deeper kink into the storyline. And it does that very, very well. The other thing it uses, and I think this is probably the best thing about this product, is it has a chaos rank. So as the trouble and the tension of your game grows higher and higher, so does the chaos rank. And it makes checks, it shifts the probability of checks on these tables, especially the fate table, this yes or no chart, and shifts it in such a way as to make things harder or easier depending on the chaos rank of the current adventure. And I think that's awesome. I think that's amazing. If you're in a lot of danger, it's going to shift fate against you. It's going to make things harder to do, but more rewarding if you're able to pull those things off. Very, very cool. The other product I want to talk about today is called Ironsworn. It is a free game to download, a free PDF to download, although you can purchase it in softcover and hardcover versions as well at DriveThruRPG. It is a full solo role-playing game. Now, it's more than just a solo role-playing game. It can be used as a game at a table with your friends as you're playing the Game Master, and kind of helps you move through the Game Master process. It can also be played cooperatively, and this is something I really want to check out. This is something I want to do. I want to get a friend or two together and play cooperatively against the game, using it as a Game Master emulator, where we are not in charge of the adventure, but the game itself is, and randomly sort of creates this adventure for us. It is a full campaign world. It has a world set up for you that's open enough that can be generated as you go, but it has full rules for a role-playing game that can be played cooperatively, solo, and with a group of players, with somebody acting as a game master. This has some amazing oracles. I think the thing that's really great about this is that I've been using it to run things like the Essentials kit and the Conan thing as well too. The oracles in this, the charts, the GM emulator charts, these random tables, are utterly fantastic. This is an amazing game to get for free. It just blows me away that the PDF is completely free for you to download, because this is a really, really great game. I have not played Ironsworn as itself. I've used it basically, the product basically for just the oracle tables and the random generation tables and stuff. And it's amazing for that, as it's doing that kind of thing. I've been using the Mythic GM Emulator and Ironsworn in conjunction together while running some of these role-playing games for myself, and it's amazing how well they blend together. I've been using the chaos rank idea and fate chart from the GM Emulator, and using Ironsworn for some of the adventure building ideas and the oracles and charts and stuff in the back of that as well too. Two products definitely worth checking out. The GM Emulator I think was $4.95. I'll put the link, like I said, down below. But Ironsworn as a PDF is completely free, but I think I enjoyed it enough that I want to actually buy a hardcover copy of the book. And I think if you check it out, you will want to do the same thing. But two products to check out for you for your solo role-playing experience. And again, like I said, I'm using this for a number of different reasons. Not only am I exploring the solo role-playing world, but I'm also looking for this to help me teach me different systems, get me more acquainted with different systems before I actually take them to a table, as well as using it to help me broaden my my imagination and help me in more in-depth adventure design and stuff as well too. So until next time, I'm Questwise, and I am out.